Hello again, everybody. As you saw in the last video, where I was putting the mulcher blade on, I had the belt where it was sticking down, and I was going to put the belt onto the pulley and push the whole thing up. Well, that couldn't be done, so what I did was I had the mulcher blade off, and I took the belt here and I just pushed it in pretty far in. Then I put the impeller mulcher blade back up and I bolted it in, and I was able to pull this belt back enough to where it's around the pulley. This I had a lot of trouble with right here, the belt tensioner assembly, pulley assembly, whatever you want to call it. As I told you before, I had the mounting bolt for this whole thing off, and then I had to take off these guides, and then once I had the guides off, I routed the belt the way it was supposed to go on there. But what happened was the spring here, the tensioner spring, came off in there. It was a little bit of a pain to put back on, but not too bad though. But I was able to get that back on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bolt the transmission back up, and I'm going to put this around the pulley here, the transmission pulley. And we're going to see if everything is okay to where I can put the rest of this thing back together. Okay. Stand by. Okay, I just caught myself. The whole reason why I took the transmission down was to get this housing off. So I caught myself and I didn't bolt the transmission back up. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to mount this cover back on, the metal cover, and then we're going to bolt the transmission up. Okay, I put a couple of bolts in the metal cover underneath, the ones that are like towards the back here, just to get the cover up. And it has this other piece in here that you have to slide in there, and there's a real long nut and bolt that goes through here. I made sure that I put that one in, and then it has just a bolt on the outside here that holds the other part in. I guess during the mulching process it goes through here, however it works, I don't know. And also with the transmission here, I'm able to put the transmission back up, but this was just not notched out. I notched it out so you could drop the transmission down. I know it's not going to ruin the integrity of the chassis, because this has a bushing here that slides over the axle. So this way the axle's not going to walk around or anything like that. So right now I'm in the middle of putting the transmission. I'm in the middle of bolting that back up, and I'm going to put this bracket on. Well, I'm not going to put this bracket on. I'm going to bolt the transmission up and make sure that I can get the belt onto this big pulley here. Okay, so I got the transmission mounted back up, and then I stuck the belt back on there. Tensioner, everything seems to be alright. I took the spark plug boot off, the spark plug wire. Even though I told you it has this safety over here, right here. So it won't start anyway, but just to be safe, just take the spark plug wire off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the power drive lever, and I'm going to spin. And everything seems to be okay. The belt is on the pulleys, and it's working nice. So now I have to hook up I got to put all the drive shaft, power drive gears back on and everything like that, and the wheels. I still have to put some bolts in this housing down here, the metal housing. And then we have I'll just carry the whole thing over here. We're starting to run out of parts. Then I have to put the plastic cover back on. Then I have to put the wheels back on. The reason why I have to take the wheels off, that it has these brackets to go across the whole bottom. I don't know. Well, they're there. I'm going to put them back. I don't know what they're there for, but they're there. It just makes it so you have to take more stuff apart. These are the rear wheels with the gears in them. So I have to put this back on, put this other bar and whatnot back on. And I'll be back with you shortly. Oh, another thing. When you're taking these apart, I had to turn it sideways and all that. So what I did was I took the air cleaner housing off in case it leaked gas or oil, so it wouldn't go into your air filter. Okay, I put this, I don't know if you can even see it. Yeah, you can. I put this outer piece back on over the axle here. Transmission's all bolted up. I put the rest of the bolts into this bottom metal housing. And now we're going to put this plastic one, the bolts up underneath. And after that, then I could put the gears back on the transmission, put the wheels back on, put the front wheels back on with those brackets. And I think I forgot to mention it. This is it's a Craftsman 4-in-1. They're pretty good machines, but putting a belt on it is like you got to take the whole thing apart. When you put this back up, you have to make sure this flapper is not all the way up like this. It has to be down where the spring action is. Otherwise, it's not going to work. I'm sorry about the camera because I have it on the tripod. I don't feel like taking it off right now because then I'd have to take my gloves off. So, as I keep putting it together, I will show you what I did. Okay, now I'm ready to put the back wheels on, but I have to put the gears on first. And an important thing, these dust covers, I've done it and forgot to put these back on and put everything together, and so I'm laying there and then had to take everything back apart again. So make sure you put your dust covers on first before you put the pin through the shaft here and the gear on and the retaining clip. Okay, here it is all back together. I put the bottom plastic shroud on. I put the gears on the axles, put the wheels back on. I put the mouse house back on, the belt cover. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up the belt to it and probably take it out into the small field here, and we're going to try it. We're going to start it up and see if it works. Okay, I'm going to try it for full choke. See what we got. Okay, everybody, it works. Hate to see what the dealer would charge for this. I lost the hubcap on the way. It's laying right there. I try and bang it back on there. And that's it. Just reverse procedure from the way I put it back together. I wish I could have filmed the whole thing, but I don't think anybody wants to watch an hour and a half of this. But until next time, thanks for watching.